It's go time. It's go
Awesome.
time. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Kiya Davelaar Show today. I got my manager, Nicholas DeLay. He has some pretty crazy fucking stories and a pretty crazy just life. Like, he's had so many just funny and crazy stories that I wanted him to tell on here. So I hope you guys enjoy. Nick, how old are you?
Good morning, Slick. Hey, nearly 40 years old now.
Nearly 40, so like 39 or what?
Yeah. No.
Alright, yeah, so 39 years old, so he's old as fuck, bro. Double mine.
Well, I don't feel like it. I'll tell you that.
He's 39, I'm 20, so about double. And yeah, basically, I just wanted to kind of start off with, so you're 39 years old. Give us like a little rundown of like your life, like a few major like life events that may have happened, and then like what led you to where you are today working here at Window Marketing Pros.
Oh man, I've never thought about it. Major events, you know, my parents passing away when I was younger, and then living with my grandparents, and not really having a whole lot of guidance. I had people there supporting me, but I've kind of just learned on my own over the years. So it's been quite the journey for myself. I've done a lot of stupid stuff and good stuff too at the same time.
What would you say is like one of, like, okay, what is one of the dumbest things you think you've ever done? Like, dumbest in the way of like, just like totally wasn't thinking, and like may have resulted in you either getting in trouble or like you getting really fucked up, like hurt or some shit. Like, well, let's hear some stories about that.
Oh man, I've got all kinds of stupid stories. There was this one time I was on the four-wheeler, and we made a track out behind our house, and I took the tractors, went and took on the farm tractor and went back behind our house and built these big old jumps. They were initially going to be bicycle jumps, but I grabbed the four-wheeler and I started jumping these jumps, and I overshot it. Bounced so hard that the four-wheeler landed on me, hit me in the head, and knocked me out. You know, I was not even wearing a helmet. You know, you hear parents all the time, no, not me. Not me. Oh, yeah. There was this one time there was canal ditches out where we lived, and there was this concrete giant slides. Have you seen those before?
Yeah.
You know, this says don't swim in them, blah, blah, blah. Of course, you know, what do? We go on top and we go down one of those. So at first it was just like sitting down. You know, we'd sit down and go down this giant concrete slide. And at the bottom, the water all hit this one area, and it was just kind of like a square area, and it went in a circular motion. So it was kind of fun. When you hit it, it was kind of like a rapid on the bottom. But my jackass decides to go stand up on it, you know, and try to stand and surf all the way down to the bottom. And by the time I got to the bottom, I slapped freaking face first, and it's not that deep. It's like shallow. Probably like when you're a kid, it was probably not even to my waist. So, and I'm a teenager now, you know, and I just slapped to the bottom. I slapped the water, and then I slapped the concrete. I'm lucky I didn't knock myself out. But I was like, dude, I've done all kinds of stupid things.
What would you say is the worst injury you've ever gotten?
Well, the worst injury, huh? It's probably the one when I knocked myself out with the four-wheeler, because I split my head open. My brother actually saved me. He had to roll the four-wheeler off of me, and I guess like I was like a zombie mode, like crawling. My head split open, I'm crawling, and he's like running up to my mom, and by the time, this is like 100 feet away from the house. So I guess I'm almost to the house by the time my mom's running out, and she just sees me and she's freaking out, you know. So that was probably the worst injury, because I don't remember any of this. They said I crawled my way up to the house.
Did you have to get stitches or anything for that?
Yeah, I was definitely in the ambulance. Oh, funny story about that is I'm in the ambulance, right? And I remember waking up in an ambulance, and there's this lady. I knew who she was, but at the time I did not. She wakes up, she's like, "Are you okay? You're with me, everything's okay, you're in the ambulance." And then she's like, "Do you know who I am?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're David's mom." And it's not even David's mom. And I have one of my best friends, his mom was a nurse. an ER nurse, but somewhere else. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. So after all these years, I'm just like I have not seen that lady, and I knew exactly who she was because her daughter was in my class also.
Oh my God.
And I feel so stupid, you know? Yeah.
Wait, so the like 4-wheeler itself landed on you?
Yeah, so what happened was it was a double ramp jump, so you would hit this one ramp and there was a gap and then you'd land on the other side of it. So I overshot it and the 4-wheeler bounces, like I bounced the 4-wheeler and we go backwards, forwards, you know. So the 4-wheeler, here's me on the 4-wheeler, and the 4-wheeler, we land and then it bounces and then lands on me on my head.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so, and we're not talking about like...
The thing is, like, 4-wheelers aren't small either, you know? Like, they're not...
And there's different type of 4-wheelers.
Yeah.
So, the 4-wheeler that I'm talking about is like a work 4-wheeler. It has all those metal bars on it. And that's what slammed me in the head with the metal bars.
Alright, yeah, that's definitely what it knocked most people out, I feel like. It's crazy because I have a fucking 4-wheeler story too, which is like one of my worst injuries. I guess it's not that bad. I've been injury, but it could have been way worse. It was... I've told you about when I broke my nose, bro. So I might have told this on here before, but I wanted to see how fast I could go on my principal's 4-wheeler, and I'm going in his driveway. His driveway is like 100 yards, right? And I start at the top, and I had a spotter down by the road to make sure no cars were coming in case I couldn't stop in time. And so I'm going. I get it up to 40, and right before I hit the road, I get it up to 50. And like I wanted to hit that 50 mark, so I kept going. And as soon as like right before the road, there's this little hole, like where water, like it's from like water coming. That's where the water piles up. So there's a divot right before the road, and I hit that going fucking 50 miles per hour on a 4-wheeler. And so like I basically jumped the road going 50 miles per hour, and the road's not very big. It's just like a normal side street, and I land in the other person's driveway. Another person's driveway is like a normal driveway, like 2-car driveway. And I tried braking. At least I think I did, but I'm pretty sure I panic throttled. And in my head, I just remember thinking, all right, I either try and just fucking take the impact and go straight into the garage door, or I try and dodge this shit. But on the right of the garage door, there was like this big, like 2-foot wood pillar. So I couldn't like just completely dodge it. I was gonna have to like try to avoid it. I was like, all right, let's try to avoid it. So I fucking turned last second, probably still going 40 to 50 miles per hour, and hit the corner of the fucking garage, dude. And I'm not wearing a helmet either, so I get flown forward, and my legs get caught in the handlebars, and my face just whips and fucking hits the front of the 4-wheeler. And next thing I know, I'm up, and I'm walking around, and I go like this, and blood sprays everywhere. And this my spotter that was by the road, making sure no cars were coming. He's on a little scooter, and he starts riding up the fucking driveway, and he goes, Kiya cut off his fingers, Kiya cut off his fingers.
Oh, jeez.
And because he saw the blood spray everywhere, and he saw me go like this, and the principal comes running out, neighbors come running out, because they thought it was like an explosion. That's how loud it was. And yeah, I mean, I just broke my nose, and yeah, I haven't got it fixed since, but yeah, that was... I mean, I literally, the only thing that stopped me from, like, breaking my back or my neck or some shit is my legs getting caught in the handlebars. Because, like, you're going 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour on a 4-wheeler, and then just hit dead stop like that, and you're flying off.
Yeah.
So, like... Yeah.
Was that your first time riding a 4-wheeler?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
it
definitely
was?
by myself. I mean, not my first time, actually. I'd rode a couple times before at their house.
So you really didn't know how to operate, like, the equipment?
I mean, like, I did, because, like, I had done it before. I'd rode that one specifically a few times, but it was just more so, like, me just being ignorant and trying to see how fast I could go, and just being stupid, honestly, but...
Well, yeah, when you first
learned... But honestly, like, right after that happened, I got on, because I used to have a tablet. I'd carry my tablet everywhere, and I was talking to this girl. And, like, as soon as it happened, I go in the bathroom, and I send a picture to the girl on Snapchat. I'm like, yeah, I just broke my nose.
Yeah.
Trying to act all cool and shit.
Yeah, I think that goes for a lot of men, you know, when you're younger. You do something dumb or whatever, and then you send it to your friends, or you send it to a girl, you know, and be like, check out what I did, you know?
It's like, bro, it's looking back on it now, it's just kind of funny to think about, like, dude, why would I even send that? But it's like, but it's a good memory, kind of, besides the fact my nose is still broken. But I mean... It's worth the story because it's a good communicator when I'm talking to new people. So
Yeah,
Brings up a good topic.
yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, four wheelers and motorbikes are dangerous, man.
But that's the thing too that I was gonna say is that when writing that, like I just felt so free and so like it felt so fun. Like you feel so. I don't know, like literally right after I broke my nose, I wanted to get a four-wheeler and start doing it again.
Yeah.
Most people, I feel like after they get like in accidents, especially big ones, they like are done. They don't want to like do it anymore, especially like people that are new to it. Like someone who crashes a bike and they like it was their first time riding a bike, they're usually scared to ride a bike again.
Right.
But I just wanted to get up and do it again.
I guess I have a question for you. Like when you were growing up, were you an adventurer outside? Like, did you go bicycle riding, learn how to ride a bike, and then you crash? What happens when you crash? If you get back up, you get hurt, you get back up and you do it again, you enjoy those type of things. I guess if you've gotten hurt and you went inside and never did it again, how are you going to know if you like those type of things?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, no, I was definitely, me and like a group of childhood friends, we ran the neighborhood. All our houses, I had like 6 friends who all like lived in the same like 2 streets.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd like ride our bikes all around town and go to like 7-Eleven and shit like that to go get snacks. And then like we'd play hide and go seek tag and ding dong ditch people. you ever ding dong ditch before?
Nope, never ding dong ditch. We had like landline phones, so we'd prank call people all the time, but not ding dong ditch. But
did you ever like egg anyone before?
Yeah, toilet paper too.
Oh my god, yeah, I've never done that. I just feel like egging's so fucked up though, because like that could fuck up their paint, bro.
Well, I mean, you're young kids. See, the thing about the 90s was there was no parents around. They were home. They didn't give a fuck what we did. Like, it was my brother, some friends in the neighborhood. Dude, we were never home. I don't even think they knew where we were half the time. Like, we could do anything. Even the neighbors, like, just like, what are you guys up to? Well, fucking enough. We'd be jumping the fence in their backyard and then jumping in the next yard, right when they're in the backyard, sitting at a table. And they're like, see ya. They didn't really care.
Have you ever had to run from the cops?
No.
Okay, I have.
I mean, I had a party one time, but never had to run the cops for stupid ass shit. I'm surprised.
Okay, I haven't like ran for like anything stupid, but like ding dong ditching when I was younger, like we'd have people call the cops on us all the time. And so every time that happened, we'd have to we'd see the cop cars come, we'd go hide in bushes and like kind of try and sneak around. And we never really got caught. There was one time a police officer finally stopped us and he asked us, he goes, "Hey, you guys hear anything about like a group of guys ding dong ditching?" And literally this is 5 minutes after we did it.
Wait a minute. So this is you guys doing it and they're asking you?
Oh my god. Actually, holy shit, I just remembered another time. Okay. So we're all at my buddy Logan's house and we just ding dong ditched one of his neighbors. And we were on our way walking to another friend's house. Mm-hmm. And I guess after we ding dong ditched that neighbor's house, they called the cops. And so we're walking and a cop car drives by us and he just stops. He goes, "Hey, did you guys happen to ding dong ring a doorbell and run away of someone's house?" And when we saw the car coming up towards us, we were all trying to figure out who's gonna talk to him. And my boy Wesley, dude, he goes, "I'm the best liar here. Let me talk to him." So he just stands out in front, literally takes a step ahead of everyone else, and he just starts talking to the police. "No, we didn't do that. We didn't do it." He just starts talking dude, of course this guy is the one who's just such naturally a good liar and can do that. Because there's a lot of people, especially when you talk to police, you have that exterior pressure on you and there's no way you can lie. You just fold right away. But the story I was gonna say with the police actually is what happened was we're all at another one of my buddy's birthday parties. Ding dong ditching for an hour straight, 2 hours straight. And everyone kind of splits apart when you're ding dong ditching because a lot of times you run in different ways. Or
right.
You get chased by people. You just always shit. Oh, literally.
They chased you?
Oh, all the time.
What?
All the time.
I mean, were they, you ding dong ditch, that's when you run up to the door, you knock on the door, and you run or you ring the doorbell, right?
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night? How late? How early?
Depends, anywhere from 12 to 3 a.m.
Were you guys waiting outside the door when you ding dong ditch to see what they were having? Because you would think people are mostly sleeping or in bed.
We do it to people 4 times until they finally got up.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, and a lot of times like they'd have babies too, and it's,
jeez.
That's the people that would chase or call the cops when they had kids. But yes, this one time on the birthday, we're all in this field, right, waiting for everyone to come back because that was kind of like our meetup spot, and it's pitch black out, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and Dom, my buddy whose birthday it was, I thought I saw him coming, so I started running out. I'm like, "Hey, Dom, we're over here." So I start walking up to him, and as soon as like I get like 10 feet away, I turn around, and I just start walking, and like 3 seconds later, I just get a big ass grip on my shoulder, like tightest pressure on my shoulder I've ever felt, and he just like pulls me back. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I look back, and he shines a fucking flashlight in my eyes, and it's a cop.
Oh fuck!
And he goes, "Everyone, get down!" And like there's 2 officers, and they both shine on their lights, and everyone just fucking gets down. And he goes, "Don't try running." And everyone just fucking sits down right in a circle right there in front of the 2 cops, and he takes all our names and all our parents' information and everything.
Oh,
and said he's gonna be talking to all our parents, and yeah, but that scared the shit out of me. He grabbed my shoulder so fucking hard, and like just looking back and seeing a random ass troop. I mean, it was a cop, but and shining a light, I was like, "Oh fuck, yeah, we're fucked." Yeah, and yeah.
Did you always do it in the same area?
No, it was always different. I mean, sometimes, but like this time was a new area.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was by the mall in the East Wing, actually.
Was it pretty consistent when you guys were doing this, or did you guys wait like a month of period? Because I feel like
we were doing this like every weekend probably.
So you developed a pattern, and they're going to be out looking for you guys.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a pattern. It was like, I guess not every weekend. It was more so like every other weekend. Maybe. Or it was spontaneous, like whenever we felt like, I was always scared as shit to do it, dude, because I was like a really good kid, and like doing that shit and getting in trouble just scared the shit out of me.
Right.
And I didn't want to die, like I was so scared of someone pulling a gun on us and shit, so.
Any regrets at all for doing that?
No, fuck no. No, not at all.
Same here, man, I've done things, no regrets, but they were pretty stupid.
There was one time where my buddy actually got caught by someone chasing him, and they pulled knives on him and shit. So, I mean, luckily I was never the person that got caught. So, because if you got caught, it usually didn't end well for you. Not like nothing bad really ever happened, but just the fact that you have to get knives pulled on you is pretty scary experience, I'd imagine.
Right.
So, I'm happy I wasn't that buddy of mine.
So you grew up in a bigger city than I did. I grew up in a small city. Everybody knew everybody. Mm-hmm. So when you did anything like that, of course somebody's going to find out. Anything that happens. So here you have a little bit bigger of an area, and it's harder to catch people. But my town was so small, man. They knew what everybody was up to. If they saw you, somewhere and stuff like that.
Because you grew up in Royal, bro.
Yeah.
It's a population of like 1,000.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe.
I think my graduation class was between 36 and like 50.
That's insane. Because I'm pretty sure my graduation class was like 400 or something like that. So just totally different lifestyles, I guess, honestly.
I did do something really stupid in middle school. Computers started being a thing. And so computers started coming into the high school more and more.
Yeah.
So I helped out in this one class where I'd put the computers together, set them up, and do a little networking, making sure everything's set up for the students. So I saw an opportunity one time where I actually stole one of these computers straight out of school during school hours. I just walked out with it normally and took it to my car in the middle of classes. So I took this computer, I take it back home, and my parents were like, "Where'd you get that?" "Oh, I got it from a friend, Okay, whatever. So I was like, fuck, I better get rid of this. So I get rid of this computer and I give it to a friend. Well, it finds out that 2 days later...
Wait, hold on 1 sec.
So it turns out that I stole this computer, and 2 days later, I give it to my friend, and 2 days later, I find out the cops have blamed a janitor for stealing this computer. And I knew there was going to be consequences, but I wasn't thinking about it, all right, whatever. But I didn't think no janitor was going to get blamed for it, I guess the cops went to this janitor's house, searched his house for this computer so he could prove to them that it wasn't him that stole this. Imagine how he was feeling. Like he was a loyal person. He just had been doing janitor work for years.
Yeah.
To get be accused after all the years of stealing something, that's pretty messed up, But I never did say anything. Well, it turns out that my friend's parents ended up calling the cops. So they heard about this, and he gets in trouble for this computer, and he never rats me out. Never ratted me out. But he never went to jail or nothing like that. They just had to give the computer back, and then this janitor ends up not getting in trouble and gets his job back. That was me, man. That was pretty messed up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like imagine if the cops were like coming to me, I probably would have been freaked out at that time. So have I ever stolen anything big like that again? No, never did it again.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like I remember like when I was in preschool, I brought home a marker, a scented marker. And
I feel like everybody did.
I felt so bad when I brought it home. Like I just like wanted to cry because I was like, I can't believe I just took that home. Like
I took a turtle from the grade school.
What?
We had a pet turtle, and it was summertime, and I told my parents they'd let me take it home to take care of it for the summer. So I dragged it to this kiddie pool outside and put it outside. And like 2 days later, it got really windy, and the wind knocked over this pool, and this turtle was gone.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think to this day that maybe my parents made it seem like the wind knocked over the turtle, and then they took it back to the school. But I don't know because I never got to ask them that later on in life. But I'm still curious on what really did happen to that turtle.
How old were you?
Oh man, grade school. How old are you when you're in grade school? Like 10 years old, 9 years old?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You just took the fucking
took
the turtle.
It was like the last day of school, man.
What do? Did you just put it in your backpack?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I didn't have anything in my backpack, so I just kind of put it in my backpack, put it on the bus.
Here, turtle. Let's just put you in here. Like your little personal ninja turtle, bro.
See, the thing is, my mom had to have known. She worked at the school. She was one of the lunch ladies. So she always knew what I was up to. I skipped a lot of school, man. My mom knew all the time. She loved me. She wasn't going to be like, get your ass, because I was a nuisance, man. But she had to have known where that turtle came from.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
God, that is insane, though. Just fucking... I don't even know.
You're taking markers and I'm taking pets.
Yeah, totally. That's a totally different level, right?
Yeah, I know.
That's a live fucking turtle. That's.
Did you ever get punished for you ding dong ditching with the?
Nah, my parents didn't care.
How about when you were younger?
No one's parents cared unless, like, we got in trouble. Their rules were basically for all of us. As long as we don't get caught, we're good. But if we get caught, then we're in trouble.
Don't break windows.
Just don't get caught.
Steal cars and stuff.
Yeah, no one ever did anything like that. Nah. You ever steal a car?
No.
Okay, you brought it up.
It was the family farm truck stealing, and then taking it back without them knowing.
That's family stuff. So like, taking it back, did you take it out in the middle of the night or something?
Oh yeah, we jumped that fucker. We fucked it up and took it back to the shop, and they were like, Who fucked up this truck?
Like you actually broke something on it?
Oh, we bent the frame. Like, you know how the cab of the truck to the back bed of the truck it kind of has a gap?
Yeah.
Oh, that gap they were touching. The
Jesus
bed of the truck
Christ,
and the cab of the truck were touching. We were jumping it so much.
Yeah, I don't think that's stolen.
We're 12 years old, man.
You were driving it at 12?
Yeah, because...
You took the truck at 12 years old, bro? I wouldn't even touch a steering wheel till I was like 15.
No,
holy shit.
Not us on the farm, man. We learned how to ride like four-wheelers and, back then it was three-wheelers, but we had a little kiddie four-wheeler, but we learned how to drive at a young age.
I heard those three-wheelers are pretty dangerous. Like, you can roll those hella easy.
Oh, yeah, dude. We got so many accidents on those things. They're hecka dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm pretty sure they stopped making them.
I got one at my house right now, today.
Oh, my God.
They're dangerous because... on a four-wheeler, you have the seat that's attached to the metal and the plastic and all that stuff. But on a three-wheeler, the seat and the plastic that goes to the frame is all one piece. So when you wreck, that thing flies off with you. So now you have this like seat and the fenders and stuff, and the single wheel in the front. So when you're turning really fast and stuff, you can just be rolling.
So how was it like growing up on a farm?
I enjoy it.
Like, was it laborious though? Like, did you get put to work all the time? Were you working hella hard?
Oh no, because I was a troublemaker. I didn't want to work. I wanted to play more.
You just kind of like used it to your advantage and like had fun.
Yeah, dude, the farm was amazing. Like, you have open fields. You go hide in the fields. You go run around anywhere. You don't have to worry about You know, when you're driving your kid, you can just drive wherever. You can drive in the hay fields and all that stuff. So you learn what you can at a young age, what the parents allow you to do.
Yeah.
But you didn't have like a neighbor here in Wenatchee. You know, I got a neighbor right next to me. I didn't have that. My closest neighbor was probably like a half a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. You didn't have to worry about anybody else. You can kind of do whatever you want. Shoot guns. I was shooting guns at 12 when I got my hunt license.
So what type of farm was it?
We had potatoes, corn, peas all around us and stuff like that.
Did you have any animals?
I didn't, but my family did. You know.
What type of animals did they have?
Cows.
Okay.
Mostly cows and stuff.
Okay. So, like, how many cows did they have?
I mean, they had not a lot of cows. It was just mostly like beef cow range.
What do cows even eat?
Like grass, hay, triticale, straw and stuff. Yeah.
I feel like that'd be such a boring life. Imagine being a cow. Like, just eating the same shit every day. Like, who wants to go in a field, just walk around, fucking moo, and then just eat hay?
I know.
Like, I mean, like,
imagine a human going up to you if you were a cow and going, moo!
So, did you harvest your own hay, or did you guys buy that?
Yeah, we harvest our own hay.
Do you have any, like, crazy stories working on a farm or dealing with just on the farm? Like, what's the craziest story on the farm?
Oh man, I can't think of any right now, but there's a lot of crazy stories on the farm. Like we'd be talking about like burying the tractor in the ground, you know,
Yeah.
taking a pickup truck in the canal. Are we talking about circles falling down? You know what a circle is?
Circle?
Yeah,
It's a circle.
well, we call them circle. They're irrigation for the water,
Uh-huh.
the watering system for the orchards. So basically, you have a pivot in the center of the field, and
Is
it's
those big ass things in the middle of the fields? Like
Yeah.
those big like pipes that stand hella tall?
yeah. So there's a pivot, a center point, and that's the main source of water comes out of the ground, and then attached to that are those pipes that come across on the wheels, and they pivot back and forth. And yeah, we call them circles
They
because
just
most
fall
of them
down?
go in circles.
And they fall down?
Yeah, they'll collapse sometimes. You know, you got to repair
So,
them and fix them and stuff.
Do they move automatically?
Yeah, there's a timer, a switch and stuff.
Okay, I've always wondered how the hell those things work because I've just never seen them move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I guess like I've never sat there and watched them, but like I drive by them and I feel like they're way too big to like just push.
Right.
So like automatic. So like they're on wheels and they just automatically do it.
Yeah, they're super simple. If you came up to one, how they work. There's just like a forward and reverse switch, off and on switch, and a wet and dry switch,
Okay.
and then your speed of how fast you want it to go.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's talk about girls. So what was like your first?
We're gonna jump from the farming stuff to the girl experience, huh?
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's a farm story that you told me that has to do with a girl. So,
On the farm.
yeah, so I want to hear that story. I want to hear the haystack story.
You want to hear the haystack story, huh?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, working on the farm in a young age when you get your license, dude, there's a lot of possibility to take girls and go do stuff, you know? I mean, did you ever hook up with a girl at a young age? Like,
No,
like
I didn't lose my virginity until I was 17.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised you're talking about that live right now.
My first kiss it was like a peck, was in fucking 8th grade, so.
See, yeah, mine was probably around there, 7th or 8th grade. I was at a baseball park. Or the baseball grounds, you know.
Mine was in a movie theater.
In a movie theater?
Yeah.
Never like no Friday night football lights, you know?
No. So what happened? It was like we go to this fucking movie that I'd already seen. I don't.
You
I
like
don't
how I flipped this on you?
I mean that's fine. You can do whatever, bro. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm the interviewer.
I know. I'm asking you too.
Yeah. So we're sitting at the we go to the very top, and this is a movie that I literally just saw like 4 days ago with my friends. And I'm like shitting bricks, dude. This is my first girlfriend, like. And so we're sitting next to each other, holding hands, watching this movie. I'm like not even making eye contact with her because I'm so scared. She has a friend. She brought a friend with her too because her parents didn't know I was going. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're sitting in the chair watching this movie, and like just randomly, finally halfway through, I like worked to the courage. I just like looked at her, and she looked at me, and I grabbed her face and I kissed her, and like it was just like a little peck, and then like. I went back to watch the movie, and like 10 minutes later, I did it again. I was like, just remember like the butterflies I had in my stomach from kissing a girl. I was like, holy shit! Like that was like the most like scary thing at the time, and now looking back at it, it's like That's insane. I guess if I was with a girl I really liked, I'd still get the butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking back at how much that meant to me and how much that like pressure I had, it's just crazy to think like just.
Were you nervous?
Oh my god, insanely nervous.
That's so weird. Like I wasn't. I was like maybe 13 years old, 14 years old, 13 years old when I went out to the baseball field. I wasn't nervous. Like it was a Friday night, and it was like. You know, we're running around during the football game while the parents are watching the football game, Friday night football game. And I saw this girl and I was like, just go over there to the dugouts, you know. So it's quite a ways away from the thing. So we go over there and we were just like making out, dude. And it wasn't like just like no regular peck. We were like straight up tonguing each other. Like it was like
first kiss?
Yeah, like first kiss, but it was a French kiss. And it was like tongue. She enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So we did it again. And we did it more. I don't know. I can't remember how long we were there when we were doing it. And it wasn't just like a little bit of tongue. It was like sticking your whole tongue in your mouth, like a cow like sticking her tongue out. Like I didn't know what French kissing was. That was a learning curve for the both of us because I doubt she was learning how to do it.
So how did that even come? You just fucking stuck your tongue in her mouth?
We were just kissing. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I guess I just
12 years old.
I never thought about it.
You're like 12 years old, bro, going in for your first kiss and automatically just fucking stick your tongue out. I kind of cool.
I still can't remember why, you know, how it happened. I just remember that moment though. And so we did it a couple more games after that. And to this day, I've been told by a couple of girls that I am a sloppy French kisser. And I think it's because of that, because I didn't know what I was doing. So what really is French kissing? Is it a little tongue or is it a lot of tongue? So anyways.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Leading from that, from my Royal City adventures of girls, kissing girls or, you know, dating multiple girls in school, you know, breaking up with them. Like, you have another girlfriend. It was like puppy love, you know. But by the time I
dated multiple girls at once?
Yeah, in high school.
like how many? What was like the most?
Like probably 3.
Jesus Christ.
You know, they find out, they get mad. I'm like, oh, no, stupid stuff, you know. But there was this one time, there was this one girl that I was with. And, you know, I knew things were getting hot. And we were making out, you know. She's taking off her bra and stuff. This night before, I had my driver's license, mind you. The night before, we had this haystack that's like 2 miles away from my house. And growing up as kids, we'd go to these haystacks and make forts in them. So I decided to go over this haystack one evening and I make a fort. So I climb on top of the stack. You ever seen a stack of those, of the hay bales under the tarp?
Yeah, I have.
They're pretty tall.
Yeah, pretty fucking tall.
So I just knock a few bales down, make this ladder that goes up top, like the stairwell, and then I go up there and I take a few bells and I knock them down and I make this like square building room area.
Just.
What up, man?
What's up?
How's that neck feeling?
Fucking terrible.
So we're on top of this. I'm on top of this haystack and I make this little fort. You know, the next day, I go get my girl and we're hanging out, you know, and all this stuff. I was like, hey, you want to come check out this place I did? This thing I did with this haystack. And she's like, yeah, sure. So, you know what my intentions are, right? To get up there and make out with her or whatever leads to whatever. So I take her up there and she's like, what the heck, you know? So we climb up the stack and we're up there, we're kissing and making out and stuff and laughing, you know, whatever it is. So we're like both half naked kind of already. So she's going to take off her shorts that she was wearing and she slips into this crack in between the haystacks of the hay and falls down. I mean, like not just like partially falls or just trips. She like fell down. It's pretty tall. So I'm like, she scratches herself all up, you know, and I have to scratch my, like, I'm just like panicking, going to grab her. She's like half naked, I'm half naked, you know, so Jesus Christ. So I couldn't pull her up because she was too far down. So I actually had to like go down the haystack and climb. So imagine like this boy, like this house is probably a half a mile away, you know, I'm climbing down this haystack half naked and I'm crawling in between the cracks to go get her, pull her out. Man, she was all cut up and stuff. You know, I feel so bad after that.
How far of a fall is that, you think? Like 10 feet?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But it wasn't that wide. Like, when they stack the hay bales, they try to stack them pretty close. Yeah. It was, like, skinny enough for her to fall through. Uh-huh. It wasn't that wide. So when she fell down, it wasn't, like, straight down. She kind of fell in there and kind of slowly went down. But it scratched her up pretty bad.
She wasn't hurt at all, though?
No, she didn't, like, no serious injuries or nothing.
So, like... did you get the job done after? Or
No, of course not. Dude, imagine like you're sitting there and you're with this girl and you turn around, you know, for just a second, all of a sudden you hear, and she's gone. She's falling through the hay.
Dude, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's like some Scooby-Doo shit. She just disappears, bro. Turn around for 2 seconds.
That doesn't go through your head though when you're in that type of situation.
Dude, when I'm in that situation, I'm freaking the fuck out.
So I've never done that again with a girl taking a haystack.
I mean, the fact that you brought someone up on top of a haystack alone in itself is just pretty stupid.
Well, my intentions were totally different, you know. They were stupid, but they were different. I was going there for, her. Try to get with her.
Hey, we're here for a good time, not a long time, right?
Yep. No.
All right, we are back from that quick commercial break, everybody. Sorry about that. So now I kind of wanted to change the topic and get into like your views on love and relationships, and just like females and like the whole like dynamic of relationships in general. Yeah, I wanted to hear about that. Like, what is your thoughts on marriage and love, and have you ever been in love, and what is your thoughts on that? Like, how many times do you think you've been in love?
Do I think I've been in love? I mean, over the years, 39 years old now, like what really was love growing up, how do you know what love was when growing up? Like, I thought I was in love a couple of times when I was younger. Yeah, I might have been a player with all these girls and jumping girlfriend to girlfriend, at first, but then you develop a relationship with somebody, or you really attach to someone. You get in a long-term relationship, and you think you love that person, And then, to me at that time, love, I thought that was love. But, we didn't click 100%. So it took me quite a while to figure out what love was.
So what do you think? Like, what is your definition of love? Because I feel like love is such a what's it called? Like, love is such a dynamic word. Like, it doesn't just mean one thing. It's different to everyone. Like, everyone's definition is going to be slightly different. I feel like there's not one set in stone definition of love.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I guess I'm still questioning what love is today, Love, to me, is when you have this feeling in your heart that everything is right, you're with somebody, or you love enjoying doing something. That makes you happy. Mm-hmm. If you're happy and you enjoy doing those things with somebody, I guess that's love. You enjoy every moment with them. You try to make things better with that person, and I guess you just trying to grow something. I don't know.
Okay.
What is, love really?
I feel like that's a question that like a lot of people have a hard time answering, honestly.
Yeah.
My version, like the way I view it, is love is, to me, is when you're willing to, like, if you truly love someone, love doesn't go away. Love is something that will be forever lasting, even if you guys break up, if things don't work out. I feel like there's 3 different types of love. There's going to be family love. So there's 3 different types of love that you will feel. There's a love that you'll feel from family. There's a different love, because like the love you feel for your family is going to be different love than you feel for like your fiance, your wife.
You're absolutely right.
Because one's intimate and one's just relational. And then there's one more love, which is respective to, like, you love to do things. Like your love, and it's more so like a passionate type of love for doing a specific thing. Like, I love to play basketball. Mm-hmm. So all 3 of those different loves, they all mean a little bit different things. But ideally, like, my thing with love is that, for a relationship, is that when you're willing to, like, no matter what the circumstances are, sacrifice for that person, and just really do whatever it takes. Like, as long as they're happy, and put them first. Like, in that sense of, it's such a hard thing to describe, because it's so, like, let me rephrase that. So in a relationship, or no matter what, if you truly love someone, you just want them to be happy. No matter what, you want them to be happy, right?
Well, what about yourself?
No, that's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at. So if you truly love someone, You want them to be happy, even if that doesn't involve you. So, say I really love this person and we're in a relationship, right? But it's just not a good relationship for me mentally.
What kind of love is it? The boner love or the heart love?
No. That's not a thing. No, that's not love, bro. That's
I know it's not.
That's lust, bro. That's lust. But yeah, so for me, it's like because there's been people, I feel like I've genuinely, in relationship wise, loved like 2 or 3 people, and
you grow attached to those people too. You know, you learn a lot about them.
Well, yeah. So that's what's so interesting and fascinating about relationships is you become so close to someone and really get to see a side of someone that they don't show other people. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like, people have different sides that they don't show everyone because they're either scared or insecure, and that's okay. That's who we are. Like but when you become comfortable with someone in a relationship, you get to see their flaws and accept them for who they are.
Yeah. And
I think that's a part of love too. It's just acceptance and understanding that not everyone's perfect, and you never will be. So, I don't know. I think love's a beautiful thing, especially in relationships. And it's just, for me, like I said, I think I've loved 2 or 3 people, because all those people, like, I still.
You're welcome.
Little Einsteins,
Dang it.
we're ready to explore.
No, don't call me. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, fuck. Hopefully we're good.
No, you're good. So I think, yeah, like I said, like, for love, for me,
dude, for how young you are, you got a pretty good understanding. You know, it took me a long time to really understand and think about these things.
Yeah, I definitely think I have a different perspective than most people my age.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Because, yeah, I don't, like, what I was saying about love for me is there's 2 or 3 people that I generally, no matter what, I don't talk to any of them anymore. Any of them. But at the end of the day, I want to see them happy. I still care about them. Like, even one of them, I even have reason to believe she cheated on me. I can get over that. Like, I would never get back with this person because I respect myself. Doesn't mean I can't love them.
Right.
Same reasons when, like, say you have a family member, like your sister or your brother or some shit, say they are a awful person.
Right.
Like, they're a drug addict or a murderer, for example. Just like an awful person. They're your brother, so you're always going to love them. Doesn't mean you have to be close to them. Like, that's just, like, that's why I said there's different types of love.
How were you taught this? Like, were you self-taught on all these feelings, or did you guys, like, at home, was it loving at home? Did your mom talk to you?
Yeah,
or anybody ever teach you about these things?
Both. That's through experience, through lifestyle in which my parents taught me.
So you have a whole different lifestyle than
But
I
the
did.
thing is like...
It took me a long time.
It's hard because, I don't know, like, I feel like it was kind of instilled in me at a young age, but at the same time, a lot of it is just learning. And I learned about perspective at a young age. Like, you have to view things. You have to look at things from all perspectives. And that is the thing that people have a hard time doing, is that people can't stand in other people's shoes a lot of times. And you got to look at it from that way, from other people's shoes. Because if you don't, like, there's a lot of things, like, in a relationship or with someone, if you're in an argument or something, you have to try and see it from their side. If you just look at it from your side, in your head, you're always going to be right.
Right.
And if you're not willing to open up your mind to their side of things, you're just never going to see the full picture.
Let me tell you what, dude, you got your shit together at a young age, because it took me a long time to figure that out. I really didn't know what love was until probably my 30s, you know, because I was that player type out there. I didn't have my parents or my family around when they were around when I was younger, but they didn't really teach us about love and respect and stuff like that, and really relationships and what was a wrong, right way. I had to learn all this stuff on my own.
Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of my relationships, I was a player young, but then I started having long relationships, and you, like you were saying, you grow attached to that person, you grow to love those people and all that stuff. But sometimes that love could be dark too, you know? You get blindsided on what is love.
100%. I think there's, like, an innocent type of love in relationships is typically when you're younger. When you have less understanding of what relationships work and how the dynamic of them should work.
And I definitely went through those.
Yeah, luckily, after one relationship, I figured it out pretty quick. And so, yeah, it's just you have, like, because I fell head over heels for this girl. And you become love blind. Love blind is a real thing, right? And so you can let that person walk all over you without even realizing it. And you just don't realize it because you're so blind, because you are so intoxicated by these feelings. So you just completely pass over like what they were doing to you because you're so in love with that person. And I do think you can love someone who's a complete asshole to you. Like,
absolutely.
Why do you think people go back to their abusers? I think that's a totally different topic, but like I think it's based off of insecurity and lack of self-love for themselves. Because if you truly love yourself, you're not going to go back to someone who beats you, who disrespects you, because you love yourself and you have that love from within. And the reason why people go back to those harmful relationships is that because they feel like they deserve to be treated that way, and they feel like they need that feeling from someone. And if they're not getting that from within, that's why they go back.
See, I was one of those guys. I was actually in an abusive relationship where I wasn't self-confident about myself and I care about others more and stuff. I thought I really loved this girl and all stuff, but she was always mean to me, you know, but I would do anything for her. And I didn't know I'm probably 19 at this time, and our relationship, you know, this relationship goes on for like 5 years. I'd do anything for this girl, but she was always mean to me. And, you know, we'd talk, I'd do things for her, she would like go out and do other things with her friend, you know, not even tell me, you know. To me, I was blindsided. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
So,
you know?
How do you view that relationship now?
That was a horrible relationship. I have a whole different view on what love and relationships and how they should be, you know, respecting others, you know. Like, my family respect was always there. Like, growing up with family, I'd go do anything for them. I'd go over, I'd just go do the dishes, or I'd go mow the yard, or, you know, my aunt, I would treat her with respect, or my uncles, you know. So I kind of tried to do that with relationships too, but when you get somebody that doesn't do that with you, it's hard.
So when you look back at that girl from that relationship, what are your feelings towards her now?
I really don't care what she's doing right now. I have no feelings for her. You know, it was a great learning experience, but I still have love for that girl. I got to know her. I got to know a lot about her and all that stuff. Yeah, time has changed over the years, but she was still...
I think that's a part of learning and growing too, as a person, is being able to let go. You can respectfully love someone, but fuck them. Like fuck you, but I love you, but fuck you.
But that's so hard to do when you're hot. You love them more than they love you. You know, it's harder to let go to somebody. It's just part of the learning curve and learning process of life and relationships. It's just you learn to accept people and accept the rules in your life and accept that not everything is permanent. Especially in relationships, they come and go. And so like when a relationship like that isn't good for you, it goes, and like you do truly love them because you feel that's how you deserve to be treated. And when that leaves, it hurts, and it hurts for a long time, right? And then eventually you'll learn to work on yourself, and you come to the understanding that you don't deserve to be treated like that. But you do realize that you still did love them. Like, you had real feelings for them, that those were genuine feelings. But now you can look at it from another perspective, and you're like, I just wish I would have told my younger self that he deserves better, right? And you just see that, like, I can have love for this person, but I didn't need them. Well, don't you think it's a lot like a partnership? You meet somebody and you really like that person and they really like you, you know, you're really developing a partnership between each other, both love, you know, and with a relationship, and you both got to work together to really make it work. You know, don't you think it's kind of like a partnership? Yeah,
100%. I mean, you definitely can't. If one person's putting in more effort than the others, it's not going to work. It has to be. I just saw a video yesterday. 100-100. There's no 50-50% of putting it in. You have to each put in 100%. If you're not putting in equally, it's gonna, like, a lot of times one person's gonna feel like they're putting in more work, and it's just going to become lopsided, and there's just going to be that adversity between the two of you, and it's just not going to work out. I think communication is a big thing, especially nowadays. People need to work on, especially relationships, friendships, whatever relationship it is. You need to work on communication, because with social media and phones and everything nowadays, people lack the ability to have genuine conversations.
Yeah, that worries me with today's technology.
No, it definitely worries me too. I have younger siblings, and I'm going to have kids in the future. And it's just like, how can I get them to best develop social skills based on the current things they have access to today? And when I say access to, I mean like access to the phones, tablets, video games. I'm not saying any of those things are bad. In fact, I'd say that those things are really good for society. We need that. Like, that has helped us advance and figure things out. It just makes our lives so much easier, right? But along with that, I feel like there's got to be a limit to, because at a young age, if you are on something like that for so long at a young age, you're not going to be able to develop those social skills needed to live life in a healthy way. So.
Dude, this guy, he's recently adventuring on Tinder, so he kind of understands the whole social media, or, you know, the technology and talking to somebody. It's different when you text somebody on a phone. Oh, yeah. You can say a lot of different things, but when you actually get in person with that other person, or, you know, one-on-one, you might say things a little different. So with technology today and communications, different when you do things on
that's
technology.
What we were talking about yesterday too, is that, like, even myself, I mean, I rely on technology a ton, right?
We all do now.
And so, the way it is. Like, for Tinder, for the Tinder example,
you're welcome.
Like, that's just an easy way to connect with people without having to do the cold outreach of going up to random girls on the street, in the store, like wherever you meet random people, right? It just makes it easy. And plus, like, in person, bro, I'm gonna be honest, like, it's the fear of rejection, probably. It's just a lack of confidence in talking to females. Like, just it comes down to fear of rejection. Honestly, that's 100% what it comes down to.
But why is rejection so easy on a phone?
Because it's not humiliating.
Give me an example.
Because no one else is gonna know about that. It's not humiliating.
True.
Like, it's just like I mean, even now, like, I don't really care. The place I'm at now, it's like, if a girl rejects me, I really don't give a fuck, honestly. But it's just the thought of going up to a random person and talking to them, especially nowadays in the social climate we're in. I feel like people just think all guys are weird and fucking creepy, and I don't want to come across creepy going up to a random girl, you know? And so, like, I never want to come across that way, and I just feel, I don't know. So I need to work on that more. And Tinder's just an easy way to fucking communicate, I guess. But a lot of times, I don't even, like, I've yet, out of like the 3 years I've ever had Tinder, like, I'll download it periodically.
So with technology, I feel like, you feel like you could say anything to that person. Yeah, you're not, because you're not one-on-one with them in person. But even in person, I feel like people aren't completely honest when they go on dates and stuff. So you may be talking on stuff and may not be clicking or whatever. This other person may not like you, and they're not going to sit there and tell you, you know, bad things. Or they're just going to deal with you until the end of it. Now, there are very rare occasions that I met someone that was completely bluntly honest with me, like, this ain't going to work out. You see that on TV all the time. Is that really like in real life? I don't think so, because I've been on plenty of dates. Like, there's not a whole lot of honest people in person.
I mean, I think it comes from two things. Being honest and when you go on dates is just either one, they don't want to hurt your feelings, they feel bad, or two, I mean, they're scared of how you're going to react. So, like, say someone doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so they're like a genuine nice person, or they're just a scared person who's, like, afraid to tell the truth because of, like, what the outcome is going to be. And then there's a third person that will tell you, which is very rare. But I mean, I don't know what I'd want. I probably would want someone to just be honest with me instead of waste my time, right? Like, I don't want someone to lead me on or beat around the bushes. Like if you don't want to be with me, then just tell me, right?
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. But like I was saying, out of all the time I've had Tinder, I've never went on a date. It's literally just for like I practice. I'm big into psychology, right? So I practice different pickup lines and see how girls react and shit. Like the one I was telling you yesterday. So I have this pickup line, and it fucking always works. For whatever reason, bro, it works tremendously.
I liked your reaction. It's definitely funny.
And so I text this girl, and I go, "You look exactly like my future ex-wife." I text her at night, a couple nights ago. And yesterday morning, I wake up, and I check it. And as I'm looking at my Tinder, I got a message back from her, and it says, "You look exactly like a piece of dog shit I picked up yesterday." What the fuck? And I literally started laughing out loud because I was like, "That's good. You got me." But it was like the first time I'd ever had a bad reaction to that line, because usually girls are curious, like, "What? Why do you say that?" Not fiery and come back like that.
With Tinder, I think people expect things like that now. So
yeah, I mean, it was funny. Like I take it lightheartedly. I don't care. Like it's a joke, bro. And if she was serious, I don't know her, so it doesn't, like, her opinion holds no value to me.
Right.
So
I don't know. Are you just looking for somebody to dish stuff back to you so you can both be like that?
I don't know.
Think
like,
that you can really learn somebody by them, if you're gonna dish out something.
Dude, you can't learn who someone truly is on a phone.
No,
I'm telling you that right now.
No.
You have to.
That's why I'm scared about
hang out with someone. Like there's a barrier of amount of times you have to hang out with someone before you actually get to see their true personality. I think it's around 3 to 5 times. There's these touch points that you have to hit 3 to 5 times, I'd say, and hanging out. And after around the 3rd time, I'd say they start opening up and start showing you their true self. And then around 5 times is when you start to really see who they are.
So that makes me think, dude. So I've met somebody, and you get with somebody, and let's just say it clicks. It's hot. It heats up, and then you just you two get together, and you're together, and whatever leads to whatever. But like a week later, you think it's love. You're so caught up in this, whatever it is between you, romance or whatever it is. And then you guys kind of just continue seeing each other, but you really didn't get to know each other at first, but you got real intimate and all this stuff, and then you get caught up. I have been in a relationship like that, and it never worked. It didn't work out. You know? I really didn't get to know the person before I really got with the person. We just jumped into it,
And do you think that screwed up are these people that you just hooked up with? Do you think that they might have been someone you wanted to pursue, in an actual relationship, or were they really just people you're just trying to fuck around with?
No, I was actually going, when I go online or when I went on dating people, because I use Tinder and all that stuff, I was actually there to meet somebody, but there had been a couple times where I just hooked up with somebody. It was just hot.
And do you wish, not in it's your life, you obviously like the way your life is right now, but do you ever, after you hooked up with someone, do you ever wish you would have done it a little differently, waited?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of people I did meet, and I kind of pushed them away. But you get to talking to them, you get to know them a little bit. I went on a couple dates with one girl. I got to know her a little bit and all that stuff. But I never pursued it more later. And then later on, I thought about it, she was actually a pretty good person. I got to know her a few times. We talked a lot online too. But when I actually got to know her in person, I should have pursued it, and I never did. She had good qualities about herself, and she enjoyed some of the same things I enjoyed, But she reminded me a lot of, one of my family members.
You ever, that's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Some guys get with people that remind them of their mother, but that's what other people say.
Yeah, that's what people say a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My brother totally married my mother.
That's weird.
It is weird, but he doesn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get why. Why do you think that is? That people would do that.
I honestly don't know. My brother doesn't think that when he met, But we see every aspect of my mother, I guess, in her.
I think it probably comes from a nurturing standpoint.
Yeah,
that's what feels comfortable to them.
Yeah, mama's boy, always did good. Mom was always treated good and stuff.
Since we were talking about hookups, have you ever had post-nut clarity?
I don't even know what that is, to be honest, bro.
After you nut.
Explain it to me some more then.
After you literally, it doesn't even have to be hooking up with a girl, bro. Just after you jizz, when you don't freaking
You're with the girl.
No, you don't even have to be with the girl.
So the guy.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but you're
the
saying.
guy.
Do you know what See ya. Like you're just talking about thinking about her post-nut clarity.
No. Post-nut clarity is when you have just came.
Okay.
You could have been jacking off.
Right. Okay.
There's no girl involved. It doesn't have to be. It's just when you jack up, when you jizz.
Okay.
And right after you're like, fuck, dude, why did I do that? Like say you jacked off to some fucking 90-year-old grandma.
Okay.
And like, in the moment you're like hella horny, so it looks good. And then right after you're like disgusted with yourself because you're like, dude, why the fuck did I just do that? Like, that's what post-nut clarity is.
Oh, I did not know that. I've never heard it before in my life.
There's a scale, like 1 out of 10 for a girl. And like your baseline should be 7, but you're super fucking horny and you fuck a 5. Okay. And you're like, fuck, dude, what? Like you fuck her and then you come and you're like, ew, why did I do that, bro? I can't believe I hooked up with that person. Like they're not attractive.
Right.
Like, that's what post-nut clarity is.
But like you're talking both with. Okay, I understand.
That's all it is. Just based on like.
So what was the question at the beginning then about post-nut clarity?
Have you ever had it?
Of course, man. Definitely.
Like you hooked up with someone where you're like, fuck, that person is not attractive enough for me to hook up with.
Oh, both jerking off and hooking up with somebody. Oh, dude. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely me too.
Me too. I never heard that before. That's crazy that you call it that. Like that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's called.
I definitely hooked up with a mother before and had that thought. MILFs was hot for me for a while.
What do you think it is about MILFs that makes like people attracted to them? Is it just a thought like of how like they're older than you, so it's just kind of like a new experience maybe?
That was definitely one of them, but like, all right, she has 2 kids and she still looks that great, and she has a great personality. Like when you're younger, you see a MILF, she has kids and she still looks that great. They kind of have things going for them more than I did at the time, you know. So MILFs were hot to me. Maybe
it's because it comes from like a security thing, where they're more secure and more stable in their life. So it's just kind of like totally, especially when you're young as a guy.
Right.
Who doesn't have their life figured out. It's just like a new adventure because this person's so stable and so set.
Not even that. It was just a new adventure, and she was like totally coming on to me too.
How old was she and how old were you?
I was, I think around 20 or 19 or 20, and she was like, I can't remember exactly. I know she was like 7 years older than I was.
Okay. And she just had 1 kid?
She had 3.
3 fucking kids?
She had kids at a high school.
Jesus Christ. Was she...
Let's just say she got around and she was a partier and all that stuff.
Was she married?
Yeah, she was definitely married.
So you hooked up with her while she was married?
Yeah, I definitely got stories of hooking up with her as married. Started at work, dude. She worked at the same work that I did. But on a farm, like, you're spread out. She worked at this scale house, and I'd stop into the scale house just to go talk to her, and, you know, I stopped in more, or she... You got my number, called me something about work, and then she was like talking to me more. So that just led to more stuff. And I always thought she was good looking, but when you start talking more, she's calling, you know, for work stuff, and that it actually isn't about. She used work as an excuse. Hey, I need you to come do this, and then this led to more things. It actually led to me picking her up in the pickup truck and taking her behind a cold storage unit where they store apples and stuff like that. So once they pick the apples, they take them to the giant building.
Yeah.
It was what's the word? Concluded? Away from people.
I mean, yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know, honestly.
So I pick her up and I take her back there, and we only have one intention in mind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're back in the middle of nowhere behind this building in the sagebrush, and we're getting half naked, we're getting you kissing, we're getting in the rhythm, and all of a sudden I see these fucking lights, and I fucking freak out. I think somebody's coming, and somebody is coming, and we're both half naked. But this truck is hauling ass, like 60 miles an hour hauling ass on this gravel road, and I just hear it running. I'm like, oh fuck, with my clothes half off, I fucking start the fucking truck, and I just peel the fuck out, and I start driving. This fucking truck is chasing me behind me, and I'm like, oh fuck. She's like, who's that? I don't fucking know. Get dressed, we gotta get the fuck out of here, you know. She's supposed to be going home now, you know. This is like after work hours a little bit, you know, give some time and all that stuff. And I just fucking driving, and then they eventually stop, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have no idea who the fuck that was. That was a close call. We could have got caught, you know.
Yeah.
Mind you, we might have done a couple things before this, so we kind of had an idea of when and when not to do stuff. But at this time, I'm like, fuck, we're caught, we're busted.
Yeah.
But it turns out 2 days later, that was my uncle coming to check on things, and he sees a vehicle back there, and he knows it's my work truck. And he was just walking down there, and he kind of knew what I was up to. So he wanted to scare the shit out of me. So he was him. I found out 2 days later trying to fuck with me. And it scared the shit out of me. I thought, I was going to get in trouble with this hot-ass MILF mom that I was totally hooking up with.
Say if I knew it was my uncle, I might have been a little bit proud. Like,
Yeah.
might let him see my prize, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think she knew my uncle knew, but my uncle knew. So she probably wouldn't have been happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have a similar situation. Not exactly like that, but I'm with a girl, and so I've hooked up with 3 people. That's how many people I've been with. And one of them, a girl I was in a relationship with, we I was living with my parents in town, fucking 17 years old, and we were at my house, and we fucking wanted to go for a drive, and so we were driving around for a little bit, and then we go park at the high school baseball field, and things escalate, and we start fucking doing it, and it's like 8 o'clock, bro, and it's summertime. So it's still sunny out a little bit, like sunset, I guess, actually. And it's a baseball field right in the middle of fucking East Wenatchee, right in the middle of town. And like I literally see people walking by, bro. And next thing I know, it's like dark outside, or the sun's just about to set, so it's pretty dark. And fucking a cop car pulls in the parking lot with its brights shined right on the car, and another cop car pulls in right behind it with its brights. And so like my car's just fucking lit up. I'm butt ass naked on top of her, bro. And
that kind of reminds me of a story I had too.
And I pull up my pants real quick, crawl to the front seat. She puts on her shit, gets to the front seat. Cop comes over. So what are y'all doing? Oh, And he goes, you guys couldn't find a better place to do it at?
You said that?
Yeah, that's what the cop says. I go, I guess not. And he goes, where do you live? I go, right up the street with my parents. He goes, oh, so that's why you're out here. I go, yeah. He goes, just find a better place to do it next time, man. And he goes, we can't have you doing it on public property like this.
That's
like,
funny.
I'm sorry. And he actually turns around to walk away. He goes, are you related to Brandon Davelaar? Which is my uncle.
Oh, man.
And I go, yeah. I go, yeah, I'm not close. I'm not really close to him. But yeah. And he goes, don't do drugs, kids. Then walks away. And then the next week,
I guess that is better than drugs.
And then the next week, I see the same cop at the high school, and he looks at me and he winks as he walks by. I'm like, no fucking way, bro.
See, even in the place you live, people know you,
So the cop was hella chill about it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's still better than drugs.
Oh,
but what were you expecting at the time? Were you just like scared and like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna?
I thought I was gonna go to jail or some shit.
Yeah, usually you do when you're that young. You think something really bad's gonna happen because you really don't know the law and stuff,
So yeah, I mean, I never did that again. Never fucked in my car, and that was a one-time thing, and that fucking happened. And
would you do it again?
I mean, maybe. Now I have my own place.
Yeah,
it's like
dude. I'm 39 years old, and when it gets steamy, man. You gotta
just do it when it gets steamy.
I'm talking about all these relationships with me hooking up women. Well, I got the great woman now,
Yeah.
I respect her, and we love each other in our relationship. We're a team, She has kids and stuff, and she's also a MILF, and I'm gonna marry her real soon. But
I mean, if the situation were to come, I'm not gonna say no, but it's just like
when you're young and you get, you're doing that stuff.
For me, it was like hookup culture now. I don't know. I'm just not into that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be hooking up with random girls. For me, like, I feel like that's more of an intimate thing for me. I want it to be more on an intimate level. I feel like a lot of guys even look up to, like, famous people are very opposite of that. They want you to hook up with more people, and they think that's a masculine thing to do. And I agree, it is masculine, and it's just not for me. I really am at a point where I just want to be with someone, and I guess I'm not really at a point where I want to settle down, right? But I'm open to a relationship right now. I've been single for almost 4 years now, And so it's just kind of like, and I don't know, I just don't have a desire to hook up with people because I think it's, when I eventually get married, I want to be with someone who hasn't slept with fucking 100 people. And I feel like if I'm going to ask that, I shouldn't be hooking up with 100 people.
All right.
And so I think it's just kind of like reciprocated. If I want something, I got to do it myself. But at the same time, it's like, I just don't really have a desire to do it. Like, one, I don't want to have kids right now, and that scares the hell out of me. And two, it's just like, I don't want to get fucking, everyone has STDs nowadays, bro. I really do not want to get a fucking disease. And so, yeah, basically kids, STDs, two things that scare me. But I just don't like hooking up with random people, man. That's not my style. Like, I want it to mean something, to be more intimate, because I feel like that's something that's valuable and like is going to be memorable. And yeah, I mean,
dude, I'm not saying that you should go out and like have sex with 100 different girls, or just go to a strip club or whatever, or go to even I did say go to a college party and hook up with a girl and have fun. But you're young, man. You need to. You don't have to do it with 100 girls, but at least have a couple more girls that you just hook up with before you decide to get married.
Yeah, that's a common thing I've got from a lot of people. Oh, like my parents even, bro. My fucking mom. Like everyone I've talked to has told me like, yeah, you just need to go out and like enjoy life. Like just go enjoy yourself while you're young, because you're not always going to be able to do that. And I don't know, like if the opportunity arose with someone I really wanted to do it to, I'd take it. But it's like I'm not actively seeking hooking up with people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I said, I want it to be at a more intimate level, and I have high standards, to be frank with you. And so like I have a problem just hooking up with fucking random people that are like a 7 out of 10. Like actually, like 7 out of 10 is like minimum. And so it's just kind of like, yeah, I have high standards, and I have high standards for myself. So it's I just don't want to fucking ever look back and be like, yeah, I wish I didn't fuck that person, right?
Right. I respect you. What'd you call it?
Post-nut clarity?
Yeah, you don't want to experience that anymore.
I'm not really. I mean,
I respect you for actually wanting to meet somebody in a relationship, you know, and long term and all that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like getting in intimate relationships with people, like getting to really, truly, deeply know someone.
As I got older, that was definitely for me too. But there was a couple times like, all right, I want long-term relationships now, you know. And then there was times, you know, that I did hook up with somebody. It wasn't just like I did go on Tinder and search, but there was a couple of times where I was looking for that long-term relationship where I did randomly meet somebody and it just worked out, you know, saw for a couple of days and it was gone. Like, I was like, all right, I was not searching for that and it just like happened. What the heck, you know?
I feel like that's like when it happens most, is when you're not looking at it.
Yeah, it does.
It typically hits you, bro.
Like going on these dating sites and all that stuff, you're trying or you're not really trying, or you're just on there to see what happens and maybe you want it. It never happens. Yeah. But when you're out, usually when you find a girlfriend and you're with a girlfriend, all these girls like show up right away when you get a new girl and you're like, what the fuck?
That's the reason why though is because they see like girls and people in naturally they want what they can't have, right? It's a competitive nature inside of people.
Okay.
And so when males, like if a male as me or you we see some supermodel and we see like 100 people around him, right? That makes him more attractive. We're interested. We're actually curious about that. That's the same reason why celebrities always have crowds of people around them. It's because it's a celebrity effect where you have one person around you and then two people, and like it just keeps building up a crowd. Same goes with like if you're in a relationship. Say you're a single guy, just some average guy, and like no one wants you. But the second you get in a relationship, you might start seeing more attention from females because now you seem more desirable because someone desires you. Because one girl likes you, now that gives opportunity for other girls to like you because you seem desired. People want to have something that seems valuable, and if multiple people don't, like the more people that want something makes something more valuable. So if you have 100 people liking you, you're going to seem more valuable and more higher status compared to someone who has no one liking them, right? And so that's basically human. That's just natural human behavior.
It really is.
So. I don't even know what brought up that I kind of forgot, like, what even led us to get into
I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here enjoying my time with you right now. This is pretty fun, you know.
But, yeah, I really genuinely don't know how we got to that topic, but It was based off hookups and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about love and relationships, you know. Yeah, it took me a long time to develop what that really was for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 39 years old now, and I think I'm understanding it now more than I ever have.
And so you said, we've talked about this before, but you said you don't want to have kids.
No.
Like, you don't have any kids.
No, she does, but I don't.
Uh-huh. What is your reasoning for not wanting kids?
It could be pretty messed up. I don't know. My whole life, like growing up the way I was a troublemaker, man. Like I was huge. My parents would always yell at me. I used to get spankings with wooden spoons and I'd break them. Everybody in the 90s should know that feeling. You know, if you were a troublemaker, mom would get the wooden spoon, spank it on your ass, and then break it and you go, ha ha, and then you get another spanking.
Yeah.
That was me. And growing up, I just feel like with my life experiences, I could have done better, had better choices of what I did, I don't feel like I'm the brightest guy. I'm street smart. Like my woman, she's book smart. Mm-hmm. She's very book smart. I just feel like I don't want to bring another kid of my blood into being me because of how fucked up I was. That's why I don't want to have any kids. Like, all right, I'm my brother. He's got kids. He's way better than I am, you know, and like I'm like, all right, he's bringing our blood still into into life.
Why do you compare like that though? Like, why don't you think you're good enough to like do that? Like,
exactly. Like,
I mean, I feel like you could be a fine dad, dude. I genuinely think you would be fine. Like, you're raising right now. You raise 2 kids that aren't yours, right?
Right. Well, I'm trying. Yeah. I'm a big kid myself, but yeah, I'm trying to do my best that I can. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm the best influence for them, but I'm trying. But I feel like I would be a very good father. Yeah. And I guess I'm just scared.
Yeah, it just comes from a fear of you don't want your kid to turn out like you, I guess.
Yeah, it's responsibility too, you know. I haven't always been responsible in my life, so now that I'm growing up, I mean, I'm at 39. If now's the last chance to do it, if we're gonna have one, now's the shot. And I had the opportunity, and we both said no. I think there's other things in life I'd like to enjoy than have a kid right now. Right. Yeah, do I have regret about it? Yeah, I still think about it, to be honest. Should I have had a kid, you know?
For me, I'm very legacy based, and so it's kind of an egotistical thing, but I want to have a lot of kids. I want to have like at least 4 kids. And it, like I said, I just think it's a beautiful thing when you can, like, say I'm 100 years old. If I mean, just for example, hypothetically, I make it to 100 years old. I have 4 kids. Mm-hmm. All 4 of my kids have 2 kids. All of their those are all my grandkids. So now I have all 4 of my kids had 2 kids. That's 8 kids, right? 8 grandkids right there. If 8 of my grandkids each had 2 kids, that's 16 kids right there. Mm-hmm. That's 16 great grandchildren. And so now we're at we have a room of 25 people that came directly just from me. And say I'm at 100
Sounds
years
pretty
old,
good, man.
and I'm in a room and there's over 25 people, and that's being like lucky, like just keeping each of my kids having 2 kids each, right? If say I have kids that have more, my great grandkids have more and shit, I could be 100 years old and literally be in a room full of 100 people that all came directly from me. So like the reason why I feel like it's egotistical though is because it comes from the selfish reason of wanting my name to stay alive, my last name. I'm very passionate about who I am as a person, and like I said, I'm very legacy based, and so I want my name to live on forever. And if I can play a part in that, I'm obviously going to do it, right? Mm-hmm. So the more kids I have,
look at your tattoo.
Yeah, I mean,
you've got the tree, you
family
know.
tree, baby.
It reminds me of like Anda's tree, or what's that called?
I have no clue.
Like the tree of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're branching out, your bloodline.
That's what it is, basically. That's what it's supposed to represent. And the roots, that's like my home ground is my family. Because I'm very family oriented, and so just having a big family just seems so cool to me. Mm-hmm. Getting to see 10 of little me running around, maybe not 10 kids, but like I don't know. I just think it'd be dope to have a big bloodline directly from me, and obviously the one part about that is it's kind of a big financial burden, but
well, you don't think about that stuff. I think you'll grow up more if you have kids. Definitely.
Yeah. 100%. I think that can also push you to reach new financial levels. But at the same time, I'm not really worried about that. I think I have a solid plan financially for what I want to do. I don't know, but like I want to start having kids probably about 25. Because I'm 20 right now, about to turn 21.
You want 4, man? You better get a girl young. Give them out 4 or 5 or more.
That's fine, bro. I was talking to a friend. I was like, "Fuck! Like if I were to have 10 kids, there's no way I could have 10 kids with one person. I feel like it'd have to be like 3 different women. Like, there's no way I'm having. 10
that would
kids.
just make it harder, man. You just need to find
That's
one
fine.
woman.
That's
you
fine.
You can always be
like,
LDS.
I mean, no. No, I'm a Christian man. All right.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. 4 kids is what I want right now. That may change. Probably not. I want 2 boys, 2 girls right now. Very egotistical saying what I'm about to say. I'm gonna have Kiya Davelaar the second.
Fucking right on, dude.
It's fucking dope as fuck. I also want to have Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
I can name Desmond Davelaar.
I see you being a good father, man. Like for how old you are now, you're pretty mature, and I think you've got all the ducks in a row, and you're going on the right path. So I see you being a great father. For me, on the other hand, it was totally opposite, man. I didn't have my stuff together. I didn't have finances. I wasn't thinking about this stuff at a young age.
Everyone has their own pace, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone learns at their own time.
Right.
And like I said, I hate talking about this. I've talked to a few people about this, but I hate talking about myself in this way. But I just feel like I have a very unique perspective. I have a very genuine and just like the way I look at things is a way that the 99% of people can't. Like just in general, like in life, people can't view things the way I do because I'm able to see all perspectives, and also my ability to think forward and think about future and understanding my ability to have empathy for people is just on another level than most people generally. I feel like just that, like my ability to do all this at such a young age just puts me like levels above most people my age. There's probably 1 or 2 people I know at all that might even come close to. God, see, I just sound so fucking like egotistical when I say this. I hate talking about myself like that, but it's just true. I feel like I just don't. Like,
I don't see the bad thing at all. What you're saying.
The way I view myself is that like I'm very understanding, and I'm very like not judging. Come from a place of empathy, and just like I don't know. I'm a realist, so it's just everything I do is just very.
And I see you doing good things.
Levels above people my age. I feel like I have a good head on my shoulders. So
yes, I haven't even known you that long, and I can already tell. I even mentioned it to a coworker that like this guy's got his head on his shoulders. He's on the right path of doing the stuff. So whatever you're saying now and how you're feeling, man, get it out of your head because you're on the right path.
I mean, I'd like to think so. I think so. Hopefully. I mean, I don't see how I'd be on the wrong path, but I mean,
yeah, you could have. If I would have told you my whole life story, you're a lot more mature than I was. You're on the right path.
Look, I mean,
you're faster. You're going faster than
that's what I'm saying though. Is like everyone goes at their own speed.
Yeah.
And the way like where I'm at for my age, I think is very far ahead of most people my age.
You remember how you're saying like we'd be saying something or you'd be saying a story or talking about something, and I reply like an hour later about the same thing?
Yeah.
That's the story of my life, man. My last name is Delay, D-E-L-A-Y. I am very slow, and I always have a delayed reaction on a lot of things. Hell, that's my gamer tag, Lucky reaction, delayed reaction, And it's kind of funny, man. I'm a lot slower than you are, and you're moving real fast, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. Life's a beautiful thing, so I feel like everyone has their own journey, and that's kind of what I'm on right now. I try to learn something from every experience, from everyone I meet. Always try to be understanding of every experience, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of hate in their heart, and a lot of not even like intentionally either. Just I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they aren't able to view a situation in a positive light. For example,
they train their brain,
Say someone fucks you over, right? And people look at it and say they hate that person. Instead of looking at it and saying, I'm grateful for that person, because like they taught me something.
Mm-hmm.
I won't let someone fuck me over like that again. I'm not going to have that person in my life, but I was friends with them at one point, so I'm grateful for the memories we shared.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to view it in a positive light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be so negative about life. You have to be positive about things, or else you're just going to live this deeply sad lifestyle.
Right.
And so you have to, the more positive you are about situations, the more happy your life will end up being, man. So it's just a thing that I feel like a lot of people need to work on,
mm-hmm.
is being understanding and empathetic, and you'll be okay.
Dude, if you can train your brain to think that at a young age, that's great. But some people have up and downs, you know, and they get angry about the smallest little things, you know, and they're happy. Their life might not be that happy.
Yeah.
It could be at times, but then, you know, it's not. I mean, I go through that all the time. I have my ups and downs.
That's another thing I have. See, I'm very contradicting in what I say sometimes, but when people, especially in the U.S., say like how unhappy they are, or like just upset they are, or frustrated they are, it's like I feel like people are 100% control of their feelings. Like if you are sad, like you have control of taking yourself out of that sad situation to a point. Because I get depression is like a very real thing. I feel like I've been at a spot in life. After my first relationship, we broke up. I was at a very low spot, lowest I've ever been, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't do anything for like 6 months. Literally, it was just awful. And I just wasn't in a good mental spot whatsoever. And I feel like people complain about so much nowadays, especially in the U.S. People are so entitled,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of makes me upset because. Who the fuck are you to say like your life is hard and you're so upset when you have a roof over your head? You're like in Middle Eastern countries, there are literally people getting bombed,
right?
Unexpectedly, their parents are getting their heads cut off right in front of them,
right?
There's people in all over the world that don't have access to clean drinking water,
mm-hmm.
and like they have to worry about getting a life threatening illness if they drink the water.
Right.
There's people in China right now that are still in lockdowns from COVID.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like we can't complain. Like, you have to just be grateful for what you have. That's basically what it boils down to. Like, acknowledge the sad, acknowledge it, but don't dwell on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way that you do. There's a lot of people that do say that, or you hear it on social media, you know, and you're like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's like that's how I feel. Like we all have our fucking problems. Mm-hmm. We all have our problems.
Right.
I'm not saying your problems are less than mine.
Right.
Or my problems or your problems are more than mine or anything. Like we all have our fucking problems, dude. And so bitching about them and complaining about them is not going to solve them.
Right. Yeah, have you ever bitched about something and then think about it like, why did I really bitch about that?
Oh, especially when I was younger, like if my parents would ask me to do something, like, and I'd give them shit, like I'd just talk back, and it's like, why? Like, why did I do that?
Like I'm grumpy sometimes, more like all the time, but like I go back and, or let's say I get mad at the kids or something, and I'm like stopping and thinking about it, like, why did I get mad? You know, this is like no point in being mad. You should just be happy for the situation and be nice about it, you know? Like, I guess it comes down to thinking. I don't always think before I do things.
Yeah.
So
I feel like being grumpy though is like, I feel like that's something you kind of inherit. I don't know if you had any parents, but like so I feel like me and my dad have a very similar way in where we'll randomly get tics
mm-hmm.
of just like being upset for no reason. And that's like, I'll wake up one morning and just for whatever reason, I just don't feel like talking. And like someone will try to talk to me
mm-hmm.
and I'll just be very short with them. Like, yeah, no. And instead of like being, if they asked how my day was or some shit, and it was like, it was good.
Right.
And instead of being, hey, it was pretty good, how was yours? Like, instead of being genuine, I get in like these moods where I just don't want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my dad can be that way too sometimes, so I think it's something you can inherit. Like, maybe not necessarily, or it's like maybe not necessarily inherit, but it's kind of like instilled in your brain because that's what you saw your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just kind of take little things maybe. From the people you you definitely take things from the people you surround yourself with.
And you put that off to other people too, especially kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that, you know, I don't know, like just life in general, like growing up, like I get mad about things, you know, or like I take things for granted, you know. There is other people out there in life that's doing worse than us, you know, and I don't think about them that often like I should, you know, like I should be more thankful.
Yeah. That's people are so quick to be negative, and instead of when they have the opportunity to be grateful and thankful for where they're at.
Yeah.
Because right now I guarantee 99.9% of the people in the US would rather be at home with their problems than be in the Middle Eastern countries, fucking in war, combat, being bombed, watching their parents die, being locked up in their house in China, not being able to drink clean water. We have it good. We have it very fucking good.
Right, and we get lost in sometimes that we don't realize we do have it good.
Yeah, there's a quote that goes, if you were to put everyone's problems in the middle or in a bucket, or if you were to see all the world's problems, you'd be quick to grab yours back up. Because you'd realize how minuscule your problems really are compared to others.
Right. So on this topic, like the other people in the world that not as living as good as I am and stuff like that, like have you ever done anything? I know we can't help these people across the world, but have you ever done anything in the area or helped someone that may need help that's in a bad situation?
I have a goal this year of, so not directly, but I have a goal of donating $1,000 this year, and so like I try to do like charity work, donation wise, because I'm very like right now I'm like we've talked about earlier. I'm very in front of very fast moving in a sense of like self growth, and so I'm very time limited because I'm always working on new projects and stuff.
Right.
And so I don't do charity work as in like helping people like that, but I try to give back in a sense of like donating to charity.
See, that doesn't have the same feeling for me.
I mean, I don't think it does. No, I definitely think I'd enjoy it more if I was in the field helping, but it's just right now I have other things I'm focusing on, and like as much as I'd like to help people, I feel like I can give back more if I work on what I'm working on right now and I finish that and I complete that. If I spend the next 5 years dedicated to my craft and I master it and I become a millionaire say, and I don't have to work ever again, now I can spend the rest of my life helping people with money, with whatever it may be. If I don't work on what I'm working on right now and I'm spending all my time giving it to charity and shit, I'll be doing that my whole life and never make a life for myself and not be able to give as much as I could. Because say I do the charity my whole life and I don't dedicate my time to making myself money, then I'm losing the opportunity to make a mass amount of wealth. And with mass amount of wealth, you can do real change in the world.
You know, that is true. And a lot of people don't think about that. You know, I never have. Like when people donate money online, I was always against it. Like, where is my money really going?
Yeah.
You know, that always scared me.
I mean, I think that's something you have to be skeptical of.
Yeah,
for sure. Because like even me, even the places I donate, I don't necessarily know exactly where my money's going.
Right.
But I think most charities will do the right thing with it. There are obviously some charities that are pretty fucked that will like take it and do the wrong things with it and not use it for the right purposes. But I think that comes with doing your research and just doing like trusting your gut with a lot of things. I think your gut tells you the right thing most of the time.
So let's just talk. There are those people out there that are struggling in life and stuff like that. But then you have people like here in America, the people that get caught up in drugs that, you know, put themselves in a situation. Are you up for helping those type of people?
See,
that's a tough one for me, but I do try to. And every time I've tried helping one of those type of people, it's like, it's no good. But I have had one person turn around, you know, and
that's a very conflicting thing for me because when I see a homeless person on the side of the street, I do want to help them. And you don't know what life has brought them to bring them to this spot.
Yeah, you don't.
To where they're at. However, I feel like a majority of homeless people have had the opportunity to not be homeless. Like, and obviously there's circumstances, but I feel like a lot of people put themselves there by doing drugs. I feel like a mass population of homeless people is drug addicts, but I also feel like a mass population, actually I know a mass population has mental illness with not, and I don't think drug addiction is mental illness. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe that. I think that is completely up to you, completely your choice. If you want to get addicted or if you want to do drugs and get addicted, that's your fault.
Yeah, like I have a feeling that not all homeless people are druggies. You know, they could.
Oh no. So what's this fucking disease called where you see shit? Schizophrenia.
Okay.
A lot of homeless people are schizophrenic, and it's because they go on these schizophrenic episodes where they see things, and so they can't control themselves because they feel like they're getting chased and shit like that. Like there's all different levels of schizophrenia, but it's a very sad disease, very sickening disease, and it can really disrupt someone's life if they're not properly medicated for it. And so I feel a big percentage of homeless people do have schizophrenia. A big percentage of homeless people are drug addicts, and I feel like the majority of people that aren't either of those two are probably in a homeless shelter. Like, think about that. I just think about the people that are actually good people that are homeless most of the time are people that are actually trying to change their lives and they actually go seek help. A lot of times people will use their situation for their own better to get money on the side of the street for more drugs or whatever it may be.
I feel like there is some people out there that are just really, really fucking lazy and they're okay with their living style that they're living. Like,
100%.
Let's say they're just living from this part and then they're walking to the next destination and they find some other place to live or meet new other people in their same situation and they're just comfortable with what they are. I'm like, I think that would be me. Like, honestly.
I mean, but it's not because you're not here. So.
Yeah, I'm here today, but I've had some low times in my life where I was comfortable with little I had, and I felt like I could have go lower. Was I happy? Absolutely not, you know, but I was comfortable with it. And I felt like if I were to kept going down, I would be that one bum, just being a bum, living in what I have.
I mean, that's sad to see, too, is because, like, even in here, you go down the street, there's fucking 10, early freaking 1960s, 70s, 80s RVs.
Yeah.
And they're all shit, and people are living in these, they're all trashed out, just disgusting places, and people live in them.
You automatically think that they're druggies, but like there's this one guy.
I don't even, like I think like that's bringing up your point is they're just lazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to here. It's like the one guy that we see parked in one spot all the time. Like I just recently saw him. It didn't look like he was a drug addict. I think he's just fucking lazy.
Yeah, and that's a sad thing, bro. I do feel like Americans, we have a big problem with people being complacent, lazy, entitled. Living off government money.
We do. We really do.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem we have. Is people. I mean, look at like. This is kind of a fucked up saying, but look at like our weight, our average weight compared to like other countries, and we are so overweight as a nation. We are not nearly as fit as we used to be, and it's because like fast foods and all that, which is a whole other topic I'm not going to get into right now. But it's just like. People are very lazy because of like the way social media. I think it has to just do with like the way lifestyle. We've come to very easy times as a society. We're in very easy times right now. We don't have any hardships. In the 1950s, you had to be worried about getting drafted to war. Yeah. You had to be worried about being fit in case I got drafted. Because if I get drafted, I'm going to go overseas and get shot at. Well, we don't have any worries. Like
we didn't have the hospitals like we do now too. You know, like. Disease control and stuff.
But so like that, it just brings back to my point. So we're in an easy time right now,
right? And
so the society has got weak because it's easy. So, but when times were hard, like in a hard, like it was when we were all at war, World War II. Fucking their husbands were all away, wives were at home raising the kids. So you become more. Like mentally tough, and when you go to war and have to worry about getting shot at and dying, I'm pretty sure that you're going to get a little bit more. Your mental strength's definitely going to go up, and you're going to be more grateful for where you're at in life.
Yeah,
as to like now,
not always, but yeah.
No, I think a majority though. Majority. Yeah. As to compared to where we're at now, we haven't had any major wars in over 40 years. We haven't had anything that pushed our society to be pressured at all. So we've just been in this comfortable, complacent nature for the last 40 years, and because times are so easy, we've created weak men, or a weak society, and a weak society always falls. And when a weak society falls, it's going to create hard times. Just like that's why the world wars start. And when hard times come, that creates a hard, strong society. And it's just a cycle that always repeats itself. If you look at like history, it always repeats itself. Like it's like an 80-year cycle. Hard times create strong men. Easy times create weak men, and it's a cycle that goes over 80 years. And so then we're in the weak stage right now, and hard times are probably coming up soon. So
I think it's all about you're right, but like the person too. Is he weak-minded, you know?
Yeah.
You have to really push your mind, your brain.
Yeah, no, I think like half our society, at least half, is weak-minded now.
Yeah.
People aren't able to push themselves past their limit anymore. People aren't willing to work hard. They're okay being average. Mm-hmm. And that's just not something I'm okay with. I'm not okay with being...
That's what I like about you.
Just a normal guy. I want to be something big. I have big goals, and I just don't see the point. Like, what the fuck is the point of life if I'm just gonna sit here and walk through it every day? If I'm gonna just not, I just feel like I can have so much impact on the world if I make a name for myself.
See me, I was comfortable with being average. Now I'm 39, and like I should actually fucking do more. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many times that I had opportunities to start my own business or like increase my knowledge and stuff, but I was okay with being average. You know, and now I have regrets. Like you're young, and now you have the ambition to go forward. Keep doing it, man, because I have regrets. And I don't want to live like I'm 39. I feel like I'm like halfway with my life. And for this next half of my life, I feel like I need to turn it around and be better because I know I could have been better a long time ago.
And the thing is, I want you to realize it doesn't have to be on, so I'm very unique in how massive an impact I want to have. It doesn't even have to be on that. Like one person, if you're able to impact 5 people's lives in your life and like generally leave a positive influence on them, that's a win. Even fucking one person.
It makes me feel good too. Like
I think it makes everyone feel good. Like I think giving back genuinely makes people happier as people. Mm-hmm. And so if you're able to genuinely help one person in your life, that's gonna be really fucking fulfilling. And the more the better. What were we talking about? What was I saying? Homeless people?
Oh, I was talking about helping, somebody, giving them the opportunity, and they just didn't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what you really got to do.
So, I think people definitely have a hard time helping themselves nowadays. Homeless people specifically. When you said you pick up hitchhikers on the road sometimes, I couldn't do that. I think that's more of a personal safety thing for me.
There was one.
I worry about that.
I
don't trust people enough because I think people fail to realize how valuable life is and how sensitive life is, and you don't realize how much trust you put into other people every day. Like you got to think.
That's my problem.
Think about all these people driving outside right now. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of cars.
Okay.
At any moment, someone driving a car is strong enough to kill anyone. So at any moment, someone could decide they fuck this and fucking go and hit someone walking on the side of the street.
Right.
They can go and hit another car head to head. You put so much trust in other people as a society not to do that, and so it's just like you gotta be understand. Like it's hard. It's a hard thing to say. Like picking up hitchhikers, you just have to be understanding of the risk you're taking.
Yeah, I like to think I'm a good judge of character, but I do think about those things. Like the guys I pick up, like. Obviously, if he looks super, super shady, or he had a lot of things, no way. If he has a small backpack and he's wearing slim stuff, I'll tell him to put his stuff in the back of the car and I'll kind of have a look, And then I'd always make sure he's sitting up front with me. Yeah, he could still do stuff. Yeah, he may stink or whatever, but I like the stories, man. Yeah. And those risks are there, just like anywhere we go, the risks are there. Mm. But like, I like the stories. This is why I really do it. Like this one time I picked up this guy that was dressed up as Captain America. And he had the whole outfit on with the shield. And his thing was that he was hiking across the states for charity.
Yeah.
And he had a social media too when he was doing this. And I got a picture with him. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. And like, how often do you get rides? He's like, I get rides quite often. How often do you see a guy in just a shield in an outfit? Yeah. He's like, all I got is my wallet on me, for food and stuff. So, and I actually donated to that guy. But there are times like I picked up, like there was this old guy I would not have picked up, like no way. But I've seen a couple of younger kids, like, all right, this kid probably needs a ride somewhere. Yeah. It's hot, let's just give him a chance. Some people at that pickup truck, they throw him in back. Mm-hmm. But even that's still dangerous. But that feels good. to me. But like,
since we're on the topic of traveling across the country, let's talk about your hitchhiking story in the winter.
I don't think it was not really a hitchhiking.
Well, let's.
You want to hear my truck story?
We're coming to an end of this podcast. Let's end it with a good story.
Okay, so my family, somebody in the family wanted me to go get a pickup truck.
Yeah.
In Utah. So they were going to fly me down, and it's winter time, and they're going to fly me down. At this time, the prices were real high. And I said, you know what? Let me just take Greyhound. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So it came down to it where they had to take me to Ellensburg to go get on this bus. And so they took me to Ellensburg, and I'm waiting for this bus. And mind you, it's snowing and stuff like that. And this bus is not showing up, and it got canceled. So on my very first day, I already have a bus delay. So I go get a hotel, and I was like, fuck it, no big deal, no big deal. So I'm like, next day, I go to get on the bus, and the bus driver's like, are you sure you want to go? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to Utah, so I need to go through Oregon. He's like, you probably don't want to go. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. So I jump on this bus, and it takes us quite a few hours to get there to Oregon. And when we get to Oregon, it's another station where you have to transfer and stuff like that. So they drop us off at this truck stop area, and it's a gas station / restaurant. And I get off and I'm waiting for my next bus, and the bus isn't showing up. And I'm like, fuck. And mind you, there's other people there just doing the same thing I'm doing. And it's like, fuck. So I'm like, fuck. I sleep in this hotel that night, and the next night, I'm thinking that the bus is going to show up again, right? And I see a couple other people there too, and I see those truck drivers, and I'm not paying attention to all the rest of the people going in and out. It's a goddamn, and the pass is closed, so there's nobody going through. So I'm like, fuck it. So I sleep in the gas station the next night, and just like thinking the bus is going to be there. And the next day, and you're waiting, like you look online, it hasn't even said anything about the bus not even coming in. You try calling, no one's even over. It's fucking winter down, it's cold. No one wants to be driving a fucking bus and stuff. Here we are, I am stranded on this fucking, at this gas station with other people around. I stink, dude. I stink that time. And there's shadier people, like really shady people there. I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna make it. I haven't even told anybody at the time what I'm doing. Like, that I'm at this gas station for 2 days, one person maybe. So after the night that I stayed there in the gas station, I just slept on this table, like the restaurant table was McDonald's, and I just slept there. There was other people doing it too. And that day I'm waiting for the bus again, and it wasn't coming, and I'm just fucking stressed, and I'm worried, there's a lot of snow. Well, this fucking guy comes up to me and goes, hey, I hear you're trying to get to Utah. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. He's like, the pass is going to clear up and we're going to have a window to go. And do you want to ride? He's like, I could drop you off somewhere. Like, do you think I was scared to jump in this truck with this guy or say yes or anything like that?
I mean, I would have been fucking scared. I would have been fucking terrified, bro.
You would?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I would have.
You see, like, I put my trust in a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I really do.
You gotta trust carefully.
Yeah. So, I like to think I'm a good judge of character. But the guy looked like he was pretty clean cut. See, I have my grandpa and my uncle, they're all truck drivers that drove cross country and all that stuff. So I was familiar with trucks, truck driving and all that stuff. So I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it, man. I'll give you some money or whatever. I just need to get the fuck out of here. So as we're walking to this guy's truck, I see this big fucking black truck with the Punisher symbol on it. And his name's Nick also. I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. So, like, I still got this guy on social media, and we get in his truck, and I'm like, it's one of those double cabs. You ever been in a semi-truck and seen them?
No, but I know what they look like.
Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah, but on the inside too.
Yeah, so like, you have the two seats, and you walk in the middle, and then you have the double. Some of them have single beds or double bunk beds. He had a whole TV, microwave and stuff in there. It was a nice truck, but like just riding in a truck that had that big old Punisher symbol on the front, the big bars. So here we are on the road, and we get over the first pass, and he's like, dude, we're listening to the radio, and the next pass is closed. And the next pass is the one we need to get over to get where I need to go. And we're like, fuck. He's like, we're going to have to stay the night. You can get a hotel room if you want. There's going to be one up here where we're stopping. Or you can just sleep in the camper, in the truck with me. And I talked to the guy on the way there. He told me about himself and his family and stuff or whatever. And I told him about myself. So we're at the truck stop area. I'm like, fuck. Like, I was like, dude, this is awesome that you're taking me. That's cool that you even asked me. He's like, yeah, I saw you there for a couple of days at the gas station. I heard your conversation. So I was like, that's fucking awesome. So now we're at this next gas station at the next truck stop. And mind you, this truck stop area is filled with semi trucks that have been there for days already because of the snow pass. There's a lot of fucking truck stops. So he's like, let's go in the restaurant or into the gas station. You can take showers because they have showers at some gas stations for the truckers to take showers and stuff. So I got cleaned up and I bought some beer and I bought him dinner and I asked him if he wanted some beer. And he's like, no, I'm not going to drink because we might have to take off tonight if the pass clears up or if we're out shut. So we head back to the truck and he goes, hey, you want to see something? And I'm like, what? He's like, you ever heard of a lot lizard? I'm like, what the fuck is a lot lizard? He didn't explain it to me and I didn't know what it was. And so we get out of the truck and we're walking. Mind you, there's like truck drivers walking around and it's snowing a little bit and all that stuff. Well, I'm drinking a beer and we roll up to these guys just standing outside this semi truck and there's like 4 of them there and they're just talking all this stuff. So he's like, let's just go over here for a little bit. You know, so we're over there talking. I was like, what's up, guys? He's like, you see that? I'm like, no. And he's like, there's a woman in there. I'm like, what? Like, a woman in there? Okay, cool. I'm like, right on. He's like, wait till you see how ugly is. And they were laughing. Like, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. You know, I'm like, what the fuck, a hooker or what? And they're like, because, you know, that's what I call them, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck? So, like, we're there for quite a while, and we're drinking beer, and I gave some beers to the other guys, and they're just, like, laughing and talking. I was telling them about my situation. And then this fucking nasty, the door opens up. And you see a girl climb down, putting her jacket on, and you look at her, and she has like 2 teeth missing, and she's like shame, like the door of shame or something, you know. And I mean, I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And she just like gets down and like walks away, and just walks down. They're like, she's probably going to the next truck. I'm like, he's like, that's a lot lizard. Do you know what a lot lizard is? I'm like, no, I've never fucking heard of that term before in my life. You know, he's like, yeah. So there's girls that are hookers at truck stop areas like this that get paid for sex. I'm like, that shit was gross, dude. I would not touch that at all, man.
That's disgusting.
They're talking, you know.
That is gross.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
especially because they're going back and forth to different trucks. Dude.
Yeah, dude, imagine that. Like, blowjob. I mean, I guess you better wash your dick afterwards. But to even touch the rest of it, no thank you.
Ooh,
but they just said that. Like, I only saw a couple of other girls, and I don't know to this day if lot lizards are a thing, if truck drivers can confirm this. But that was my one-time experience of learning what a lot lizard was. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. Did you?
Fucking lot lizards, baby.
I know.
Never fucking heard of a lot lizard. I'll be honest about that one.
Oh, so mind you, this whole trip has been stressful, and I learned about that. And we get back to the truck, and we sleep for a couple of hours, and this guy wakes me up, and he's like, dude, we're on the road. Let's go. Nick wakes me up, and so we get back on the road, and we're trucking, and there's a lot of snow on the ground already. And he's like, dude, I've been driving for years. Like, I'm not worried about this. We just need to get going before all these other trucks go. And trucks are already leaving because they want to go too. And but a lot of trucks weren't because there's just a lot of snow. None of them would risk it. And when we got to the top of the pass there, dude, there was cars buried in snow because they're trying to clean the roads and they're just throwing the snow over the other cars, you know. And there's another set of my trucks going, but he just barreled through that, and I'm like, fucking Punisher, bro. This guy's fucking badass. He's punishing through the snow. So we get there, and we get to Utah finally, and he drops me off on this gas station where I called the next people to come pick me up to go get this fucking pickup truck. And I waited a couple days after that. So this like one-day flight thing that I passed up turned into like a whole week of me.
And a week worth of a ton of experience and stories to tell.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun story. That's actually how I went on a date with my woman, and I told her about the story, and she was laughing her ass off the whole time. And I'm like,
I mean, that's quite a fucking story, dude.
Yeah, it does make a good story, and I got more to tell you some other time. But yeah, that's a part of my unresponsible self of just backpacking around too, you know. Just like I've always been immature, and that's just like one of my immature stories of life, you know.
Hey, well, the more stories you have like that, the better, because it makes you. I mean, that adds to your character and makes it who you are. So everyone has their stories, and you have quite a few.
Yeah, I do.
They're all pretty interesting.
Dude, thanks for bringing me on here,
So,
man. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you, Nick, for coming on. Thank you guys all for watching. This is the Kiya Davelaar Show. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Love you all, you beautiful motherfuckers. Thank you, Nick. And that's the end of the show. I'll see y'all later.
Later.
Peace.
Yeehaw!
And that's the pod.
Just like clipping that fucking thing together.